So, matter, even today, people say they all got all the money in the world. Doesn't mean you got multi-billions or not, or hundreds of millions or not. It ain't going to fix this, because there's a bigger issue at play here. And we have to, what we call, create kingdom, Kindom, where we have to help people come to experience how to live without money, that we don't need to live by fiction to have everything we need. All of nature's never needed fiction to do what it does so extraordinarily, every instance of your life. No fiction makes the sun shine, that makes the tree do what it does. Our interference through fiction may give us the impression that it's doing something, like Alice is acting as Little Mary's acting as Alice, giving the impression Alice is amongst the living, like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. But if you step back and wake up, it makes sense. No bank is creating anything. No government is creating anything of nature, because it has no natural place in it. So all the talking and rhetoric from Donald Trump to all the prime ministers and the wars right now going on with Putin and everything else, there's entertainment going on to keep you lulled in the scripts, to keep you in here, keep you trapped inside these artificial domains of life where your fake personality is being recalled again and again and again. So you don't know who you are or what you are. And if you die like that, you're gone. Forever. Forever. You cannot define the truth to anybody. So kingdom is to awaken the truth of all this and to use the system to get out of the system as this life, in this life. Using whatever fictional stuff we want to use, including money, to bring about the establishment of these kingdoms, what I call mudrooms, where people can learn how to dissociate from the person, the ego, and have no emotional attachments to any outcomes about anything, and not play out emotions anymore about anything. So we're truly only knowing and living the good heart. Not that that's scripted, it's undefined, but we can't define that for anybody. We have to give people the opportunity where they can thaw out, defrost from this incredible trauma, because that's why they're in your head all the time. They're constantly in your head today. They have to. So they don't want you to wake up and awaken, to listen to a man like this. So you've got social media coming at you. You've got the mobile phone, the iPhones and the iPads. You've got microwaves, radio waves and other frequencies coming at you all the time. Billboards, advertising. You've got shopping centres and motor cars and all these artificial fictions coming at you all the time. Everything from the supermarkets and the stores and Bunnings, everyone is coming at you all the time. You've got things you call buildings and streets and numbers and roads and post offices, and they're all fictions. They're not even here. But you're so busy recalling the dead and raising up the dead all the time, where all this emotion is playing out, and you sit there and you cling on to death, and by clinging on to money and clinging on to security in your homes, and you've got nothing because you'll die with nothing. You could be on multi-millions or billions of dollars and you'll die with nothing because there was nothing there always. If you don't wake up to the fiction and get out of this and start getting involved, it doesn't matter, we call it kingdom or whatever you want to call it, paradise, whatever. We need to set up ways of life now where we don't need government. We don't need the rule of law. We don't need any politics. We don't need to be administrated. Administrate, add a minister. This is adding an occultist inside your head, because every thought form that comes from alphabets is another man inside your head. You're recalling as part of that borrowed life in that all-seeing eye, because you're seeing everything through another man who told you how to think and feel about everything and everything. Because that ain't you. That ain't your dream. You never created any of it, leaving you soulless. And to remind you, all esoterics, all occults, be it astrology, numerology, is all fake. It's designed for you to recall the personality that was already fashioned. It was a fashion statement, social engineered by the occultists for you to enter into that scripts, to play out all the scripts that connect to every other script of every other script that formed race, culture, creed, titles, standings, holidays, travels, entertainment, social life, sport, fashion, you name it. It's all interconnected. It's all formulated by these occultists. None of it is real. None of it's happening. It's all fake. Everything you're doing through Telegram right now, it's all fake. It's not your life. You're just being entertained to keep you trapped so you can be used and abused, and all your life energy can be used and abused, and all of it is going to nothing because you haven't created a soul, so it all goes to the kingdom of your dream of life, your natural domain, your motherland, where it's passed on as a natural inheritance to your descendants. As our ancestors before this fall had passed it on to us. The remains of all of nature today was the dreams of our ancestors and whatever we've left behind, and chipping away, destroying it through the generations since the fall began, to do harm through all the industrial revolution and all the mining and manufacturing and everything else we've done of fiction to construct this fake fictional world. You're not born sanguine or melancholic. You're not born with any symptoms of anything that's not related to some sickness or disease. It's been done to us through inculcation and through their alchemy and their chemical messing with chemistry and biology and all this science crap that they do to produce manufactured outcomes for modeling. So it's like a fashion statement that you enter into to become Greek or Italian, with or without some disease or sickness, or some brilliant or non-brilliant skill set to exclusivity and privileges, etc., that we have in the system of first and last, rich and poor, good and bad, those that get rewarded and those who don't get rewarded as well. So we end up with scarcity and mediocrity of the whole system. Because if we do it through the good heart, there's no such thing as rich and poor, or first and last, or good or bad, or right and wrong. It's just unique man creating their unique life and allowed to live that dream of life and create that natural domain, their motherland, and pass it on to their descendants and to those who who can connect with those motherlands, those dreams of life, those natural domains of life, to be inspired by, for those children to come to be inspired by, to connect into the reasons to why we did what we did with nature. Because if we really wake up, our true powers, we can dream for a bird and then watch it fly out of our hand. Dream for a tree and watch it just rise up. We are that powerful. We are truly godlike. We're just so asleep because we're dreaming it that way now. We're so shut down, we dreamt it. We don't remember anymore who we are, what we are anymore. We create kingdom. I call out to all of you who want to wake up. Come and create kingdom with us and us with you. We need to get one of them off the ground now. Right in the middle of the system, where everybody can come and experience it and realize you don't need to go to vote in politics. You don't need government. You don't need money. You don't need police. You don't need military. You don't need education. You don't need any of these things of the system. None of it. Because you already got it all naturally built in. And it's all around you, calling out to sing you the song of your dream of life. Not the fake one, being summoned by the dead, raised by the dead, where you're dead as fiction in a dream world of fiction, and there's nothing there, and you're left with nothing. The only other thing else I could say is that while we say we love someone, we love our kids, and we let them go to school, we hate them. We are destroying them. We hate our children. We let our kids get caught up with anything to do with first and last, rich or poor. We hate our kids. We let our kids go to eat food that's been compromised and been sold through fake marketing to give us the impression that it's fresh food people or it's good for you when it ain't. We hate our children. So there's over 20,000 chemicals and poisons and toxins and awful stuff in all processed foods today. Yet alone all the fraction reserve banking that's behind money, that's where the true dollar is no longer worth a dollar, even though we don't even need a dollar because you don't need to barter. Everything's free anyway. If everyone lived to create abundance, and we're creating life and just gifting life, everyone gets raised up by that life. And that's what a kingdom is, to raise each other up like the wind under each other's wings. We raise each other up again out of this fallen state. We don't need money. But while we say we love something of the system, we actually hate nature. We hate life. We hate men. We hate man because it takes man to be a slave to the fiction, to work in the factories, to work as blue collars and white collars, to be brainwashed and inculcated and so shut down. They don't know who they are, what they are. They're just machines as drones in a system that's interconnected through fake chains of networks of office rank and file crap. You hate them. You hate man. Because for you to want anything of the system, you need all that. And the progress of civilization means you hate nature. You hate life. You hate man. You really hate life. That's the white going into the black, and the black going back to the white, and the white going back to the black. That's why you believe by buying the fast foods for your kids, they have this lie, but it goes to the black because there's nothing there. There was no life in the processed foods. It's just shit. All the food's been grown in markets that are taken days or weeks and refrigerated to get to your store for you to buy it through fictional dollars. There's no life there. It's not part of your dream of life or your natural domain of the motherland, where you know everybody local, where everyone lives local and everyone knows each other very well, and no one would dare want to harm each other or lie to each other because you get found out too quick. And you have the whole community on you, the whole tribe on you, if you were to do that. That's why the cultists broke everything down, to internationalize everything, break everything down. That's why they raided every single tribe ever that was living local, because the power is local. Everyone lives local. Everything should happen local. And that's what kingdom is, local. By getting rid of all the fiction. So you don't need a private corporation with strangers who come and influence over the water you drink or the food you eat from the shops, who provide administration and law, who all come from strangers because none of them are local. With medical and science and all these things that we're told how to think and feel to deal with things, including all this coronavirus crap that's affected everyone living local everywhere, which has nothing to do with your real life. It's all prosthetics. It's all unnatural. You don't need this crap. Your immune system comes from the purity of nature, eating directly from nature, eating from the wholesome of natural organic food that's nature just provides. You just go and pick it and eat it right there and then. And your body will tell you instinctively what your body needs to eat when you're not inculcated by taste buds and controlled by all these emotions. And this affects sex, our sex lives and everything. We have been used and abused, raped, pillaged, and plundered because all our energy goes to nothing. And that's why all their rituals and everything that's behind the system of the occults that gets into, like, if you look into Eyes Wide Shut and all that stuff, you look into any of these visual imagery and you're getting behind pedophilia and all these networks of sexual abuse and that, because it's all worshipping fiction. All those are lost in the worst parts of fiction, even though all of fiction is bad. It's anti-life, because that's what Antichrist is. Christ is life, anti-life. All that life energy is not held in the domain of man's dream of life. It's been punctured by piracy, invasion, getting inside and stealing everything and directing our energy to nothing. So we're left with nothing. That's what we call death. Because there's nothing there. No soul. There's so many things we say that I love you or I love whatever. We don't. We don't. We just play the game white, black, black, white, white, black, black, white. And it gets faster and faster and faster. We don't even love who we really are because we're so lost in fiction that we've formed the fake constructs of consciousness and freedom and life. And we look through the eyes, like where everything we see with the eyes directly of the celestial bodies is true. But everything explained to us about what we see is not true at all. There's no galaxies, there's no solar systems, there is no planet. Earth is not even a planet. It needs a man to act as planet. It needs a man to act as solar system with its scripts. It needs a man to act as a galaxy with all the brainwashing of science. That's why you can have kids so brainwashed from so young, through daycare, preschool, primary school, high school, college, whatever, university, and they come up with all these degrees and they're brilliant looking through telescopes and microscopes, and not a single thought is coming from the life forms they're observing of reality, of nature. It's coming from this background matrix crap where we've been told how to think and feel, and you're adding to it, and because you're so attached to it, it's all you've got and you're holding on to it, and you believe this is your version of reality. This is your perception of reality, when it's all fake. That's why I said you don't go and kill a frog to learn what a frog is. You go and observe the frog, and that's the life of that frog. Then you go and observe another frog, and that's the life of that frog. And that's unique, and the other one's unique. Go and observe that fly, and then that. Everything is so unique and original, instant by instant. Why would you kill it? Unless you hate it. Because you worship fiction. Why would you want to have man be invaded and turned into drones and into becoming blue collars and white collars and labourers and all that, and be subjected to this inhumane, most disgusting systems through the mathematics and geometry of commerce and banking, where you need to, and for those at the elite levels, and even to get up, you have to be able to be good at manipulating others to get what you want, which means you hate man. You can't be in business without hating man, because you don't know them. They don't live local to you. Most of them are strangers. Today you're so broken down, so hopeless, that even when you see, like people see us today in this car, they feel hopeless, weak, or they have arrogance and all stuff. They said, why did you get up and go and work and all that? You know, they don't comprehend it. Working for what? I did that for 20 years and had over $4 million stolen. It could have been far more than that now, the values today. Just stolen. Everything I worked for 20 years. Why should I support a world like that? Why? I never committed a crime. I never injured anyone. Never broken the peace. Nothing. But yet this could be done. And everyone's sitting around saying, why did you not stop all this harm happening to people like us and everyone else out there in the first place? Because you hate everybody. Because you have false pretenses about what you think you like and don't like. All of it is manufactured to give you a fake sense of your life, which is a complete disconnect from life, because you don't love life. You would never dare drive cars, or any of us would drive cars and use petrol if we loved life. We would never dare journey to a mountain with motor cars, or beaches or forests with cars, because it's all destroying it, wrecking it all to have it. And it all starts with harming man, harming our brothers and sisters, so they become the cogs and the wheels of the system of this destruction, of this beast phenomena. If you don't wake up to this, don't see this for what it really is, where we should not be even thinking about anything else now, but we should be thinking about just creating kingdom and getting out. And we know how to do it. This man knows how to do it. I put 20 years, I'm exaggerating, 16 years. It really goes right back to 1972, where I spent a long time working this stuff out, not realizing all the interconnections of all these things that I've been through. But I don't dream for people to follow me in my image, or to come and worship me and leave me on some altarpiece so they can look at Arthur and remember Arthur. I don't want to be remembered for anything. I just don't want to live and support this fake world anymore. I want to be part of creating children and raising children up by nature again, where we don't harm. That it's past the ideas that we can't do it, it's impossible, because that's all the emotional things that keep you trapped, where you're powerless and weak and trapped inside here in these fake domains of life, where you've been siphoned of your true good heart, because you won't allow your good heart to be held in the domain of your life, because you let it all be drained away, called government, money, banking, commerce, insurance, and everything else that where all the trauma operates of fear, doubt, uncertainty, distrust, confusion, suspicion, the worries of tomorrow's security for food on the table, getting your kids through a brainwashing school, and on it goes. All this uncertainty being played out constantly in present sense. But you can't go and take our children to experience uncertainty. You can't go and visit banking or insurance, because it doesn't exist. It ain't here. Unless we brainwash them and get them to imagine that it's here and believe it. The remedy that stops all this is kingdom. Getting back before our ancestors fell into this madness. Stepping out from all of this. You can't find the remedy during this fall in the system, because the system is fiction, and everything of the system is fiction. There's no remedy to be found in the system, ever. All you'll get is the pretense of some good-hearted scripts to make you think there is a remedy when there isn't, because these people will lull you into another lullaby fairy tale script with fake consciousness and fake freedom and fake this and fake government, or an improvement on government, improvement on money, improvement. It's all crap, because it still requires inculcation. We have to get the children and kidnap them. We have to continue piracy. But you can't find any man who come forward who says they've got the right to do it, because there's no higher power they can bring forward to say that this is the authority. Because if they say to me they have got one, I say, like, bring forward this high authority. Wherever you claim this divine power, because if it isn't, and you're going to bring it forward, I'm going to ask you, are you this divine power that's overseeing all these people who are allowed to do all this recklessness on everyone else? And they say, yes, okay, whatever it is, move that mountain range from there to over there right now for me. Show me this higher power you have that's greater than a man. And if they can't do it, they're just a man just like you and I. The rest you've got is all the games and scams you have when you go into court and you're caught. C-A-U-G-H-T. There's no judge that's got any power over a man. No politics, nothing. There's no army or military power over any man. And if you know who you are, you're not driven by death or fear. You're just driven by the good heart and just pushing that light out everywhere, so no darkness can operate anywhere. And that's why living local is so important, so everyone is doing that. So we don't let the encroachments of the darkness come in through seduction and temptation, which is what happened early in the fall, to repeat all this again. We're committed to creating kingdom now. It's the only remedy to this problem. We can use money, but we don't worship money. The love of money is a terrible sickness, a terrible disease.